The WSK Open Cup doubleheader race weekend. We are about to race OK. Do you remember the WSK Champions Cup? That was won by Taylor Barnard. That was the last week in January, and he has been in just brilliant form. He has been superb all week, taking pole position for both rounds 1 and 2. He lines up on pole. Before we get to the race, let's take a look back at some of the highlights thus far of the 2020 qualifying and heats of the Open Cup. Taylor Barnard was the fastest qualifier on Wednesday. He did a 48 dead around the 1.3 kilometre circuit. This is Adria Karting Raceway as you look back to the Forza Racing team driver, Nicholas Pertilati, who is also in contention. One of 3 Finns in the field here who have been really quick. This is another Marcus Amand, the French Finn for VDK Racing. And also Alfio Spinner, 201, the WSK Euro Series champion. That was in juniors, but Taylor Barnard, there is no doubt, he is the driver to beat in the WSK Open Cup. He won the pre-final. As you can see on screen right now, he lines up on grid 1. Andrei Shivnov across the line in second place. That's a grid 2 start for the Russian for Team Komodov. The track is dry. We are up to 12 degrees Celsius. Can you believe it? That is worth celebrating in itself. And look at that. There is shadows on the circuit. The sun is shining. We're only a few days out from winter. We are delighted to be on track. The season they said would never happen, yet we've managed to get in it. The majority of the WSK calendar for 2020 as you look at the front row of the grid. We will go through it completely for you in just a moment. This is the pole sitter, Taylor Barnard from Norwich in England, who also made his debut in the Italian F4 Championship powered by Arbath, presented by WSK Promotion. And he will race in 7 days' time, the final round of that series at Vallelunga in Rome. A quick trip home to England just to pick up his racewear, and we'll see him at Rome next week, most likely, well, quite possibly, as another WSK champion. This is Andrei Shivnov from Russia. Team Komodov, the TM-powered Tony Kart to the right of your screen. This is Nicholas Pertilati for Forza Racing, the team of Jamie Croxford, in force as ever. The Forza Racing team drivers. Nicholas from Finland starts alongside the Hungarian Levent Dereves from Budapest in the 208 Kart Republic. Great run through the heats and the pre-final for the Eastern European. On the third row of the grid is Marcus Amand for VDK Racing, 2016 and 2018 world champions. VDK Racing with Victor Martins and Victor Bernier respectively. As the karts are pushed into life, credit to Lorenzo Travisanuto. Old style, the 100cc jump and run. The 2-time world champion will line up on the 5th row of the grid in the 220 Paralin. So this is the grid. It's TB and Andre on the front row. Pertilati and Ravesh. Marcus Amand, Il Siciliano, the super Swede Norton and Tuukka Tappinen. Alex, the Irishman, alongside the 2-time world champion Lorenzo Travisanuto. And on the 6th row of the grid, Niklas Zolov, the Bulgarian Lion, and Floria Russo. Brando and Charlie Wirtz. Look at Griggs from England and Marlon Hernandez. Just 14 years of age. Victoria Blokina from Moscow in Russia. Giuliano Holtzem, Christian Cannibal Bertuga. Bruno Del Pino from Ibiza, the Spanish island in the middle of the Mediterranean. And we go to Kuba Rabsky, Caspian Hagman and Sandro Holzem. 223 for SFR Motorsport from Cologne in Germany. This is a 20-lap final, just over 25 kilometres, 26 to be precise. One lap is 1.302 kilometres of this circuit. that was constructed in the north of Italy, about 1 hour south of Venice, at the end of 2014. 6 years have gone by so quickly. Taylor Barnard, he started the season right here on the last week of January with a victory in the WSK Open Cup, Champions Cup, I should say. And he looks to end it with a victory in the Open Cup for Team Rosberg. On pole position is TB Shivnov, the Russian, out of grid 2. We welcome you to Adria. This is round 1. This is the final for OK. And we race. Taylor, no mistake, darts down into turn 1 in the lead. Nicholas Pirtilati right behind. What a start by the super sweet Norton. Goes through into position 3 just ahead of Marcus Amand. And behind him, Il Siciliano. Alfio's spinner from the outside of the front row of the grid, Andrei Shivnov. Back to 6th place as Lorenzo Travisonuto runs off the circuit. Great start by Alex Dunn. As Alfio's spinner goes down the inside, puts Marcus Amand back to P5. The opening lap of the race, and Taylor Barnard is already running away with it. Down through the chicane, there is the energy kart of the second generation racer, Alex Dunn. Down through turn 1, it is Barnard, Pitilati, Andreas and spinner, Amand, Shivnov, Travisonuto 7, Dunn 8, Tappinen 9, and Laurenti Vervesh. The Hungarian has fallen back to 10th place from Russo, Badoer, Charlie Wirtz, Hernandez, Zoloff. Good start by Bruno Del Pino as Andrei Shivnov retakes the place. From Alfio's spinner, gets one back, does the Russian on the Sicilian. But Alfio down the inside of the sweeper, and the Russian closes the door. Alfio's spinner will now be vulnerable to the 2-time world champion, Lorenzo Travisonuto. Right behind him is Alex Dunn. The son of former Formula Ford Festival winner and Irish Touring Car champion Noel Dunn, watching on from their home outside Dublin in Ireland. Not to mention Alex's young cousin Noah. Cousins, along with Drew, down in Brisbane, Australia, who have stayed up late tonight to watch their cousin light up the track in the 214 Energy Kart. He's in position 8. Goes wheel to wheel with the 2-time world champion Lorenzo Travisonuto. Down the inside, and Alex gets the job done. The Irishman up to 7th. Next in line for Alex is the Sicilian Alfio spinner. Behind is Travisonuto, Tuukka Tappinen, and Brando Badoer. The gap between Taylor Barnard and Nicholas Pirtilati out to 19ths of a second. Marcus Amand is the fastest driver on the circuit at the moment, a 48.290. Shivnov starting to recover into position 5. But right behind him is Il Siciliano, Alfio's spinner. Alfio's spinner, winner of the WSK Euro Series in the junior category. That was incredibly with 2 different teams. Kart Republic, he started and he finished it with the Tony Kart team, which he's racing for now. There's Marcus Amand behind Norton Andreasen. Both the Scandinavians and mega talents. Of course, we remember Marcus Amand from Castelletto di Branduzzo, the WSK Final Cup back in 2018, as Alex is attacked. Travisonuto retakes the place. Tuukka Tappinen right there as well. Marcus Amand, remember, on the podium that day. To be honest, he confused us. Racing under the French license, he's got the Finnish flag on top of his helmet, and his father simply said, look, play whichever anthem you like. He's a French Finn, he's driving for a Belgium team, he's in Italy, he's in position 4 behind a fellow Scandinavian. That's Norton Andreasen for the Ward Racing team from Sweden in 3rd place. The top Finn, it's Nicholas Pirtilati in P2. That's Nicholas Zolov down in 14th with a 48.260. The Bulgarian Lion from Sofia on the Black Sea in the east of Europe did not have a good start, but he's the fastest driver on the circuit. Now he's up to 13th as he goes by Marlon Hernandez as Marcus Amand down the inside. The Finns in position 2 and 3. The Swede back to 4. Then it's the Russian Shivnov, spinner. The top Italian ahead of Lorenzo Travisunuto, and Alex Dunn still in position 8. Giuliano and Sandro Holtzam have unfortunately retired on the second lap of the race, along with Christian Bertuca. That happened off screen. They are out. They will be back for round 2 of the WSK Open Cup to take place later this afternoon as the field stream down the straight. There is Tappinen behind Dunn, ahead of Charlie Wirtz. Go back to Griggs, Hagman, Bruno Del Pino as Victoria Blockina goes by. She only turned 14 years of age just a few weeks ago. Andrei Shivnov, her countryman, also from Russia. He's in P5, Victoria. For the Ward Racing team, she had a great run throughout the heats. Really showed a great turn of speed, finishing in 5th and 6th in her heats earlier in the week. She's struggling here at the start of the final, though. Let's hope she can find some momentum, catch up to the back of the pack. Immediately ahead of her, Kubaratski, Bruno Del Pino, and Caspian Hagman. The fields start to spread out as we approach half race distance. The OK final, round 1 here at Adria Raceway. There's Nikola Zolov on the back of Tuukka Tappinen. The DPK racing cart, the Bulgarian, for the Spanish team, behind the Finn. Just behind Marlon Hernandez, Florian Rousseau, and you just got a glimpse of Luca Griggs in the 221 Tony Kart. Marcus Amman closes in on the back of Nicolas Piertilati. So it is Team Rosberg Kart Republic P1, the X-Spree Forza Racing in 2, VDK Racing in 3, Ward Racing, Norton Andreas in P4, Team Komarov P5, and the Tony Kart Racing team driver Alfio Spinner. Ahead of Lorenzo Travisunuto, 220, his 3rd team in 12 months. You know the story. From Kart Republic to Tony Kart, and now with the Paralin Racing team, he won the WSK Supermaster Series at this very circuit. For the Ward Racing team, that was in 2016, did Lorenzo Travisunuto. He's in 7th. His final event for 2020. Indeed, for most of these drivers, we've done pretty well, to be perfectly honest, given everything that has taken place in the past, 7, 8, 9 months. It's great to be on track. It's a dry track. It's the final event of the calendar, the 15th year of operation for WSK promotion. Still Piertilati holds up Marcus Amand. There's Norton, slips back to 4. Alfio Spinner on the back of Andrei Shivnov, half race distance coming up. Taylor Barnard, though, it's looking ominous. 1.9 seconds between the English driver and the 2 Finns on your screen. There's the Swede. Closes in on the back of Marcus Amand. 2-time world champions, VDK Racing. With Victor Martins, the race in the desert, Bahrain 2016. And 2 seasons ago with Victor Bernier. As Piertilati goes so wide coming onto the straight. Almost into the grass. Marcus Amand down the inside. So he lost that momentum. Amand carried it all the way into turn 2. Intelligent pass by Marcus. Goes by Nicholas. Then it's Norton. Alfio Spinner. Now by Andrei Shivnov. Piertilati takes it back. Andreasen now behind the 2 Finns. Into the hairpin, Norton close enough to make the move. He waits. Last time round across the line, it was 2 seconds exactly between Taylor Barnard and Nicolas Piertilati with this battle. We'll check the gap. It was 2.08. Now it's 2.6. Almost 3 seconds now between Taylor Barnard. The Finns, the Scandinavians in 2, 3, and 4. There's Norton. That's Alfio Spinner in the background. il siciliano, il palermitano, Alfio Spina. His father Fabio watching on at the circuit here. And Alfio Spina will check his lap times. 49.1 last time, so he's a little bit quicker than the drivers in front as Norton goes down the inside. And with that, the Ward Racing team driver is now up onto the podium. Marcus Amand skips away. Taylor Barnard does likewise. 2.5 seconds, so it stabilizes. But Taylor is almost the length of the start-finish straight ahead of the Scandinavians behind him. Marcus skips away. There's Norton. Pirtilati back to 4 for Forza Racing. Il siciliano Alfio Spina sta accorciando la distanza da Pirtilati. So the Sicilian is starting to close the gap on the Finn. Levente de Vesh up into 6th place now. Ahead of Travisanuto, Charlie Verts up into 8th. In the 2.15 Express, by the way, 9th, and Solov, the Bulgarian, rounds out the 10. 7 laps now remaining, 2.5 seconds, 2.4. Marcus Amand goes a 10th quicker, but Taylor is just controlling the pace of this race. Here this morning, Norton under attack from Nicholas Pirtilati. There is Alfio in the background. In position 5, the Sicilian. We have lost Andrei Shivnov. The Russian has retired, so has Duka Tapanen. You'll get a glimpse of their cards abandoned. The top of your screen right there. Andrei Shivnov, Duka Tapanen, Giuliano and Sandro Holzem. The two brothers from Cologne in Germany, and Christian Bertuka, the 212 Birol driver, has also retired. 2.5 seconds between Taylor and Marcus. Norton under attack now from Nicholas Pirtilati again. There is Alfio Spina, il Siciliano. Into P5. A week after his nearby neighbour Gabriele Mini took out the Italian F4 Championship, powered by Arbath, presented by WSK Promotion. That was 7 days ago, just an hour away at l'Autodromo di Imola. The Sicilian talent, Alfio Spina in P5. Gabriele Mini, the new Italian F4 champion, also from Sicily. Something in the water down there. It's not just the beautiful weather and the beautiful people in Sicilia. Also the Enna Peragusa track being rebuilt in the last few months as Nicholas goes down and takes 3rd place back. The dying stages of the race, Alfio Spina, the Sicilian, is catching the both of them. Marcus Amand has escaped. Marcus is almost 2 seconds up the road from this battle, and with that pass, you can probably add a few tenths to that as well. Alfio Spina, he's really cutting in on the back of Nicholas and Norton. There is Spina in the background, that Tony Kart 201, powered by the Vortex, driven by the Sicilian. Behind the Finn, the Swede, Marcus, and Taylor from England, now with 2.5 seconds, controlling the pace in the dying stages of the race. There is Spina in the background. We'll check the gap. It is 1 second. Just under, in fact, 9 tenths between Andreasen and Alfio Spina. There goes Levente de Vesh ahead of the 2-time world champion, Lorenzo Travisanuto. Great drive from Lorenzo in 6th place in the 208 Kart Republic. Down through the chicane, there are 3 laps now remaining. Taylor disappears. At the bottom of your screen, there is Marcus, Pirtilati, Andreasen, Alfio Spina. The gap remains the same. In fact, Levente de Vesh, if anything, is starting to catch up to Alfio Spina. He's really reeled him in In fact, he's gone by at the bottom of your screen. Lorenzo Travisanuto also tries to take his countryman. Spinner holds them off for the moment. Retakes the place on the exit of turn 5. Nicholas Piertilati looking good for the podium at the moment. 2 laps now remaining, 2.5 kilometres to race here at Adria Karting Raceway. Piertilati, Andreasen, Ravesh, Travisanuto and Spinner go by, so Levente and Lorenzo have gone by Alfio, who gave it absolutely everything in the 201 Tony Kart. He's back in 7th place as Lorenzo tries Levente Ravesh. There is Nikola Zolov as well in that battle on the penultimate lap of the race. Good drive from the Bulgarian lion, Nikola Zolov, to drag himself up after that messy start. He was near on last, and he's now looking at 7th place as Norton dives down the inside. Retakes the place briefly. Piertilati gets him back. Taylor Barnard on his way to victory. Round 1 of the WSK Open Cup. Taylor Barnard for Team Rosberg. 2.8 seconds ahead of Marcus Amand. The French Finn will finish on the podium in 2nd. And it will either be 100% Finn or a Super Swede who will join him in position 3. Norton winds up on the exit. Gets the run. Nicholas goes defensive into the sweeper. Now we'll put the Forza Racing Kart in the middle of the circuit right there. He'll be slow on the exit. Norton drives by. Just needs to white line it into the hairpin. Norton Andreasen for Ward Racing will finish in 3rd place. Taylor Barnard takes the victory in superb form here this afternoon. Marcus Amand 2nd. Norton, the Super Swede, takes the podium in 3rd place. So Taylor with a victory. As we take a look at the highlights of the race. From pole position, was it in doubt? He went down into turn 1 in position 1. And from there, they simply did not see which way the English driver went. Good drive from Marcus Amand. He takes a well-deserved podium. Had to fight for it with Nicholas Piertilati and also Norton Andreasen, the Swede, and the 2 Finns. Norton and Nicholas, how many times did they change positions? Including on the very last lap of the race, Marcus skipping by. Norton with the move. This was towards the end of the race. Nicholas took him back on the exit to the hairpin. He went too defensive into the left-hander on the final corner. And Norton just drove by as Taylor drove away. Takes victory by 2.8 seconds here this morning. Marcus Amand finishes in 2nd place. Norton on the podium in position 3 from Piertilati. Ravesh, great drive from the Hungarian. And the other Eastern European, Nikola Zolov, from near on last, finishes in 6th from Travisanuto, Brando Badouet, Charlie Wirtz, and Bruno Del Pino, who did start on the 2nd last row of the grid. The Spaniard storming home while we were watching the battle for the lead. Great drive from Bruno Del Pino, the Spaniard, to finish in position 10. Stay with us on WSK.IT, the podium presentation for the OK final. We will hear God Save the Queen, the national anthem of Great Britain, here at Adria in just a moment. The podium presentation for the OK final round 1 here this morning with a last lap pass. From Sweden for Ward Racing in 3rd place, the Super Swede, Norton Andreasen. A great drive as he pulled away from the pack For VDK Racing, it's the French Finn. Second place, Marcus Amand. Won the WSK Champions Cup right here on the last weekend of January. And wow, he's finishing the year in style as well. The winner of round one of the WSK Open Cup from England for Team Rosberg, it is Taylor Barnard. The third place trophies. Third place, Norton Andreasen. Second place trophy to Marcus Amman, and the winner is Taylor Barnard. Round one of the WSK Open Cup. The national anthem of Great Britain. Taylor Barnard takes victory in round one of the WSK Open Cup and an enormous lead into round two this afternoon. Stay with us on WSK.it. The junior and 60 mini finals live from Adria in just a moment.